I don't think I'm exaggerating this time. I don't think I've got it wrong. I think Ricardo is our elite player that's going to win us the Champions League. 17 dribbling, 17 finishing, 16 pace, 18 off the ball, 17 technique, a perfectionist, 19 years of age, comes in for just £12.5 million, 12 goals, 10 assists, 6 man in the match wars, and an 8.5 average rating. Ricardo is going to be one of the best players in the world. We just have to hold on to him. Welcome back to the 9th season of the Honvéd Save, where today we're trying to win the Champions League once again, and with the man Ricardo now joining our club, we have a slightly better chance at doing so. In today's episode, we're simulating all the way through the 9th season as we try and beat Arsenal in this game, and then hopefully beat someone else later in the season. We're doing incredibly well in the league, and of course, incredibly well in the signing, so let's go over who we have signed. Before I do that though, smash the like button, subscribe if you're new around here, let's jump into it. Starting with the sales, at the end of last season we didn't do anything extra, but we did do some things next season. In terms of the signings, we did bring in a number of them. The first one being Nilo. No, you know about Nilo. The first one being Kuruchet, who was a Uruguayan striker, who I thought was going to be our elite striker replacement for, well, Etete, to be fair, is the last really elite striker we had. But he hasn't ended up being that because we brought in some better players. So he is more of a rotation option at the moment. Brought him in for just 4.3, so definitely a good signing regardless, but not the star that we thought we were going to have. Next up, we brought in Holly, who's been loaned out for Ferenc, who has been playing quite well, got good potential, got good stats, okay potential, but we only paid 500k for him, so I'm very happy with that. But then the player that you guys have already seen, Ricardo, is incredible. He is so good in every way. I cannot believe we managed to get him. He wasn't super happy to be signing for us, I don't think. I think we really had to talk him into it. But £30,000 a week for 5 years. Clearly he doesn't mind being here. We are going to have to bat teams away, swat teams away like flies to a lamp. It is going to be challenging, but we're going to keep a hold of him the best we can. We loaned out a couple of players. Gal, who was the Hungarian centre-back that we signed last year. I kind of regret it now because we're a bit light on centre-backs. Next up was Serbian central midfielder. Give him some game time now that he is homegrown at club. Marlon's gone for 800k. Lucy has gone out on loan again. Another youngster that I don't even think has a very good potential. Oh no, we did bring this guy in. So actually, I'll tell you about Hanhall in a second. Another youngster who we brought in, so I'll tell you about him in a second. Holly, who you already know about. We sold Weist, who was a player that we signed for the sole purpose of trying to sell for a profit for £1 million. Kovacs has gone out on loan. Ayani has gone out on loan. Oani, who now only has 2.5 star potential ability, which makes me very sad, has gone out on loan. Then we sold another player that we bought in literally just to sell for a profit. Horvath went out on loan. Largo has been sold for £2.7 million with new players like Paul. His name's fun to say, Palmisano, and of course our South African lad who can play in that role better than he can. Our French Nabil right back, who has gone out on loan as well. Gallardo, who was another player we brought in on a cheap fee to sell for a profit, has been sold for a profit. 2 more youngsters going out on loan, the main one being Filipovic, who did actually play for us for some time during last season. And Robert has left the club for £6.5 million. That is probably the most noteworthy one. Now actually starting for Juventus, which makes me think maybe we have a higher standard of goalkeeper than I thought. That is, of course, because the last season we brought in Gonzalez, who was got a bit of a better potential, about as good, and Robert's contract was expiring and he didn't want to re-sign, so I thought, well, cash in while we can, because it was literally expiring at the end of the year. So happy with that fee. Signings, Pau Prim has come in for a free transfer. We're paying him a hefty wage of 30k, but I think he's an okay rotation player, good stats, and again, can sell him for a profit in the future. Comer Mert, who was the player that we brought in on loan last year from Juventus, didn't play insanely well last season. Probably not going to play insanely well this year, but good stats, and he's a real person. It's always nice to have real people around the team. Speaking of non-real people, Lothar Hanel, who we brought in on a free in the hopes to sell for a profit, has gone out on loan to a German 3rd division side. Next up, we brought in a real person. No, he's not real. He's not. I thought he was was real. I got excited. I thought he was real. But his name is Katsibis, who was coming for £10 million, which is a great fee, considering he played quite well in the Bundesliga last year, despite the fact that he didn't make a goal or a assist contribution. But the year before he did, so let's focus on that. But I like the stats. 18 vision, 16 first touch, lots of greens all over the place. I think he's a very good player, and he's just going to be a rotation option, even though he is on a very high wage and considered an important first team player. He is just being a rotation player at the moment, and he's doing quite a good job at that, because of course we've still got Kremar in there, and the last player that we bought in was probably quite a bad signing. Vitor comes in for £3 million. Hoped for a bit more potential, so he's probably going to be one that we're scraping to try and break even for in the future. But it is what it is. He could become homegrown at club. So this is our best team at this current moment in time. We've still got Karbanov starting up top, because he played really well last season, and he started the season okay. 7 goals, 6 goals in the Champions League. I mean, it's good, but it's not quite the over 1 goal per game he was getting last season. That is as a result of Ricardo taking all of the goals and assists. 12 goals, 10 assists. Galetli is now coming down into that cam position, because Martinez, although he continues to play okay, he's injured at the moment though. I just think Galetli has a higher ceiling and is actually better. He doesn't really suit striker, in my opinion, especially with Karbanov doing a good job there. But he's done pretty well in the cam position, so he's going to continue playing there. Mohaxi has finally turned into a good player. 7 assists from 7 appearances. Beautiful stuff. 2 goals and 3 assists in the Champions League too. I think he's actually going to come good eventually, and eventually does seem like it's coming soon now. So Mohaxi locking down that starting position now. Kremar continuing to be awesome. 4 goals, 5 assists in the league. What a player. Next up, Palmisano, who of course is a good central midfield option. Not like elite in any stretch of the imagination, but a very solid central midfielder. We've got this right back, left back, Argentinian dude, Rinaldini, who probably should be starting at left back, but we do have a slight tiredness for our South African man, Pakati, who is continuing to start in right back normally, but right now it is Rinaldini, who does actually get rotated in quite often with Mancini. They're kind of about 50-50, as you can see. 4 starts, 4 off the bench, and then Rinaldini also 8 starts, 3 off the bench. So, you know, it is a good bit of rotation. But the centre-backs are locked in, with Vasquez continuing to stay in that centre-back spot. 6'6" Colombian giant. Next to him, Petit, who I think is going to be one of the best centre-backs in the world someday. Hopefully that day comes sooner rather than later. And as you saw before, Gonzalez in between the sticks. Other noteworthy people is, of course, Parkathi, who has now lost his 5-star potential because he is over 22, but I still think a really good asset. But if we get a bid of around £40 million, I think I would let him go, because he is worth about 33, and that would be a good amount of money. Tome is also a great one to keep an eye on, even though he's gone down to 2-star current ability. 5-star potential is what we focus on. Fingers crossed he does eventually reach it. Aguiman has been playing good off the bench. Forgak continuing to just be an average player on the bench. And as you saw before, Kuru Chit, who is a good player as well. So lots of good things happening, lots of exciting players. Still got £22 million left in the bank. It's not a matter of spending that money, it's a matter of who is actually good enough to spend that money on, and that's our trouble at this current moment in time. In terms of the season so far, not a single loss, only 1 draw, which was to Kisvadra, who was just a bit of a fluky game. I think we did actually go for a quite strong team there. Yeah, we did. We just didn't get the win, and that's unfortunate. But we have managed to beat Bayer Leverkusen away from home 4-1. I know, I was shocked too. Didn't think we'd be able to get that. But it was Karbanov scoring 4 goals in that game, and them only scoring 1 that led to all 3 points in our first game. Then we beat Rangers 4-3, and now we're versing Arsenal. Again, I didn't expect those to be walks in the park, and we're coming up against some easier teams coming up. I don't even know who Chavez is. It's the Portuguese side. Obviously, never heard of them. And then we've got, again, another team, a Swiss team. Yeah, again, should be a win. To be fair, two Italian sides back-to-back is quite challenging. But I think we're going to get a decent placing. This Arsenal game, though, will be a very good test because they won the Champions League last season and they're top of the Premier League right now, as you can see here down the bottom. Beat Real Madrid in extra time with on the 90th minute with Martin Odegaard putting the ball into the back of the net and still sticking around the club. I'm not going to delay it anymore. We've got to simulate a whole season here, boys and girls. This is the team. We're continuing to go with the central attacking midfield one just for this game as a result of Martinez being out with an injury. If he was available, we would play him as the Mazzala, but Galetli can't play as the Mazzala. And I don't really want to play Agumang or Katsabis or anyone else as the Mazzala. I just think stick with what we know. This is what we've played all season. No need to go back into the CDM role. When we've actually beaten teams that we didn't expect to beat using this exact system. For example, when we beat Bayer Leverkusen. Didn't think that would happen, even though we played 4-3-3, So let's see what happens and then make a judgment call. Work out whether or not we do need to go with that CDM formation when we versus bigger and better teams like Arsenal. They're through, but he's offside. I'm not even getting nervous about that. Still seeing some familiar faces, though. Declan Rice knocking about. I think that was Odegaard starting. Saliba as well. Let's see, I told you it was offside. It was miles offside. Not even getting worried for a second there. Anyone else? Jurien Timber still there. Merlin, I believe, is a good player, a real player. Sorry, French left back. You see, that's ball knowledge, boys and girls. That's Football Manager ball knowledge. Saka, who has won the Ballon d'Or in this save. Martinelli also sticking around there. So probably some experienced players who have had some time to get their stats as high as they possibly can be, but not the fresh legs like we do. As Kremar puts it in, Mohaxi going for it. A header goes straight into their goalkeeper's hands. They look to go long, no short into Saliba. Saliba loses it though, and Palmisano plays it into a man that is doing incredibly well in this Champions League, Karbonov, but he can't put it in, just hits the woodwork. But what a chance for us there to do a wee smash and grab out of nowhere. Get an opportunity, put it into the back of the net, go defensive for the rest of the game, but it hasn't quite gone our way there. And this whole game doesn't seem to be really going our way. 34% possession is pretty poor, but we're not really letting Arsenal have a lot of chances with only 2 shots there, 3 to us, and we have the ball in this highlight. Vasquez is on it, playing it into Palmisano, into Kremar, who, to be fair, actually passes it literally to no one, but we kind of all sprinted forward instead of actually trying to be in support. It's funny how when you verse a really good team, not only do you obviously just perform badly because you're versing a better team so they outplay you, but also sometimes your players just look horrifically bad in comparison to a normal game. Like in a normal game, no one would ever just run away from the ball like that. But I shouldn't be complaining. We're on the ball right now. Ronaldo plays it into Palmisano. Okay, there's an honest mistake, I will admit. But it does look like it's going to be Arsenal's chance as they play it in. And this time they do put it in with no chance of offside. Martin Odegaard putting it in, making me think maybe that CDM formation was the way to go. But we're in a bit deep and I'd rather have our stronger players and just don't want to look bad on camera. So we'll keep going with it for now. And it's not like we're out of the game. That we have been nullifying them quite a bit. But the possession is pretty poor. 35% is absolutely horrific. We need to get a little bit more than that. As we have to start the second half, 38%. It's still not great, but a free kick is an opportunity. And it's gone straight into the goalkeeper's hand. For Mohaxi, has some very good crossing, and I don't know if his corners are incredible, but his crossings are actually very good in terms of his stats. I was expecting something a little bit better from there, but nothing that we can get excited about. And now it's Arsenal looking like they're going to attack, although we do win the ball straight back with our Argentinian left back, right back dude, Rinaldini. Mohaxi has it. See, this is the crosses I'm talking about, and Ricardo, he is the best. He just, I've said it before, and last time I said it, it was for Forgux, who is now considered 2-star current ability. I don't think it's going to happen with him. I think Ricardo is the Greg Grant of this save. Yes, he's not of the nation that we are building up. Like, for example, Greg Grant was Scottish and we were building up the Scottish League. But I think he is going to be the star player that we never let go, that scores a bunch of goals, that gets a bunch of assists, that wins the golden ball at some point, and is the reason why we win the Champions League eventually. I really didn't think we'd get one this early, but I think he's going to end up being it. And I love the fact that we have him this early in the save, although he is looking tired, so he might be coming off. Kramer goes down. I don't think it's a penalty. It is a penalty. Oh, this is exciting. We could actually feasibly beat Arsenal. And if we do actually score this penalty, I'm definitely making a sub. Ricardo, great goal. You're coming off, mate. You're looking to... No, I can't bring him off, can I? No, I can't. Mohaxi can come off. Galletli will go out to the left wing, play him as an inside forward, and then switch the tactic. And, well, it keeps him as an inside forward. Well, obviously, because that's why I preset for this tactic, clearly. Parmesano go into that CDM spot. And let's get Katsibis into that Mazzala role. He doesn't have great shooting. But I guess he'll be okay. No, let's get Aguiman. Aguiman has been playing well when he's been coming off the bench this season. In fact, he got quite a few bids in the off-season, and we're lucky to still have him. Not that I actually didn't want to get rid of him. I was very happy to sell him for about £7 million when those bids started coming in, because his value is up and down all over the place. So I thought while it was up, cash in, and he wasn't going to be a starter anymore, but he didn't end up signing for them. So, I'm fine with that. But he's come on now, trying to make a difference in the Champions League. And I think more subs are probably going to be in order, as Opetit's looking tired, so Below's coming on. Tromar's looking tired, so this is where we're actually going to bring on Katsibis. And then Ricardo is also looking tired. As much as I want to keep him on and get him to score a hat-trick, I feel like our mentality now is certainly more defensive, holding on, counter-attack, and we can't counter-attack if we've got tired players out on the wing. So let's keep those fresh legs out there. If Mancini goes off for that is harsh, man. I thought he got the ball. We've got to go a few minutes with 10 men. Okay, well, for sure, I think it's just going to have to be no striker, and we'll go very defensive. I know it seems absolutely mental, but it's what we're going to do. So we'll drop it down a little bit. And, yeah, roll it out's fine. Switch those guys around. No striker against Arsenal feels crazy, but I think it's the right thing to do. We're winning, and arguably, we should be. 7 shots to their 5, 1.79 XG. We just need to hold on to what we've got. Hopefully, having that extra defender in there is going to do exactly that. Even with 10 men, I think we've just beaten Arsenal. Don't give us a highlight now. Why did I say that? It slowed down, so I thought I need to fill this with something instead of just being quiet, and I should have just been quiet. Is it a goal? Goalkeeper was up. Erdegaard plays it back into the goal. Keeper's Have you ever seen anything like it, Football Manager? He's played it back to the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper's ran all the way back. If we score from this, oh, that was a thing of beauty. Boys and girls, I paused halfway through it. That was amazing. He's tried to pass it back to his goalkeeper, who's busy sprinting all the way back into his goal. We pick it up and put it in the back of the net with the man that I brought Ricardo off for. I'm a tactical genius. That is now probably going to be the title of this video. What an incredible way to see a last-minute goalkeeper interaction that causes you to concede a goal in the absolute stupidest of ways. That was an incredible game. 3-1. 3-1. A convincing win against the team that won the Champions League. Don't worry about the possession. The possession, 41%. Actually, we did end up crawling it back in the end. But 8 shots. 2.0 XG. This is a team that has not gone past the second round of the Champions League, not gone past the 9th to 24th qualification, not even gotten the chance to verse the top 8. We might be in the top 8 at the end of this, and we might go quite far in the Champions League if beating Arsenal is anything to go off. We are good. This may be our year. If this video is very long, it's because we've gone far in the Champions League. I'd like to preface this with, I gain zero joy out of not actually winning properly on Football Manager. I get zero joy from saving and loading. I've literally never done it. But this is probably the most incredible and most fake looking thing I've ever done on my YouTube channel by miles. And probably just off camera as well. We have managed to get to the semi-final and we're versing Barcelona. and we're winning after the first leg. So we managed to beat Arsenal 3-1 on aggregate, which was a two-headed fixture where we managed to win both of the games. One of them was 1-0 and one of them was 2-1. Yes, I know that we versed them and beat them early on in the season, but I thought that was a fluke. Apparently it wasn't a fluke. We're good enough to beat them again. Then we beat Leipzig 4-1 and then lost 2-1. Still went through. And then we beat Barcelona 2-1 in the Champions League. And all of the games, we're earning the wins. We're not like being dominated. This is the most dominated game we had. 15 shots to 14. You know, it could have gone either way. The XG does suggest they actually probably should have come away with the win. But clearly we're decent defensively. I got 2 losses against Inter and Juventus, 3-0 and 4-0. However, before that, we didn't lose a single... In fact, we didn't draw a single game in the Champions League. It ended up getting 18 points and came 8th place. At one point, we were top of the table, which was a lovely feeling to have at one point. And I mean, we didn't verse like incredible teams. We did get lucky with our draw. But still, I was very, very impressed by that. And now I'm very impressed by the results that we're getting. And in the league, we haven't lost a single game all season. We have managed to get 2 draws against Puskas Academy and Kisvadra, who are currently second. Ferenc all the way down in 4th, and actually quite a distance away from second place, 7 points. I think they're completely fallen out of the bracket after we have been going, well, not really tit for tat, but, you know, they've been right next to us all the way through. Second place, and then 1, you know, all the way down here. So that their mantle is well and truly gone, and it's the era of Honvéd. And you might have noticed, I'm the Hungarian manager. It is awesome. I love it. It was a goal for a while. We've got a good team. I've convinced Szoboszlai to come back from international retirement. And then literally, how do you spell Szoboszlai? You know who I'm talking about. Obviously, actually, he's very high up in the Champions League, so I can show you. But I convinced him to come back from international retirement. And then we played one game, and he instantly retired from international football once again. 3 games away from 100 caps. I don't know why he did that. But we did, to be fair, lose 5-0 to France in my opening game, which, you know, isn't ideal, but it's France. I sneezed there, so I paused it. So, you know, it's not too bad. Hopefully we get some better results against Paraguay and Peru. But to be fair, like the quality is a huge gap. Mohaxi is probably one of our best players. Not 3-star current ability. He's actually considered... No, he's considered higher in the national team. There we go, 4-star current ability. Kirkes, of course, is class too. I don't think we're winning the World Cup anytime soon, but it is nice to have something else to focus on with us tearing up. The Champions League and the league. This could be the year that we do it. I know that sounds mental after not even getting past the first round of knockouts, but this could be the year. We do have to beat, well, draw, or lose, no, draw. We have to draw to Barcelona away from home, which is a hard ask, and this is the team that we're going with for it. But I'm not quite ready to tell you about that yet. We made signings. Of course we made signings off camera during the transfer window. And sales. Katsibis unfortunately left for £20 million. He wanted to go, and we got double the money, so I didn't say no, and I wasn't too bothered. Like, he was good, but he wasn't crazy good. Aguiman has gone for £6.5 million. I told you I wouldn't lose money on him. Very happy to get a small profit at the very least. Forgux has gone out on loan as well because, well, actually more for the national team. I want him to get experience, and he wasn't playing for us, and he's good enough to play, so he's playing in the League, not really starting, but scoring goals. 2 goals from 6 appearances is not terrible at all from Cam. Then we lost Parkathy for £30 million. My fee originally was 40, but he did actually want to leave, and he got upset, so I decided to let him go to Bayern Munich in the end. And I mean, his existence hasn't really been noticed being missed, so it's, you know, a bit sad, but it is what it is. And then a youngster left. In terms of signings, we got another world-class centre-back who's only 18 years of age. I think he was 17 when we signed him. 6'5", Love that about him. Brilliant stuff. Then next up, we brought in another defender by the name of Ramos, who looks like he has even better stats, but is apparently more of a right back and not very tall, so I am trying him as a right back. I like his stats. He's been playing a lot in the Champions League and playing okay against very difficult sides in the Champions League knockout stages. So I'm happy to keep him around the club. I think he's got great potential. Of course, I'm happy to keep him around the club. Decent signing. And then we brought in Honorio, who looks very good and is playing very well. We've rotated them side massively for league games now with the Champions League, and this guy has been coming up clutch for all of those. And we just continue to seem to continue to be winning. You know, like you'll see Ricardo, top of the goal scorer chart, but has only actually played 24 games, and there's 30 games gone. So he's missed 6 completely, where I haven't touched him at all because of the Champions League. No surprises there. But this is what my best 11 would be. Gonzalez is injured, so we've got Hagens starting in the goalkeeper spot. He has played some games before because, again, we had Gonzalez injured earlier. I think it was this Leipzig first leg. Yeah, so first leg. He got 7.5, so fingers crossed he can do that again today. Then we got Opetit, who again is huge. And oh my gosh, the interest we got from teams was incredible. He was getting bids from like Real Madrid, and he's now worth £60 million. So I'm not selling him, but yeah, it is what it is. Ronaldo is also starting in that right back spot, a very good player for us. Mancini, Vasquez, Cremar, Palmisano, he got so many bids as well. Ricardo didn't get any bids during the summer, but the January transfer window, but I know he will in the sunny summer. Galetli, Mohaxi, who is completely coming to his own this season. 4 goals, 11 assists, 3 goals, 6 assists in the Champions League. He is the player that we thought he was going to be. And then I'm going to play Karbonov, but more recently it has been Kuruchet starting our games. However, I just like the height that Karbonov brings in this game, sort of more of like a one chance he'll finish if it comes to his head, sort of opportunity thing. So having that height, I think, is a big difference. Kuruchet, I can't see really being the difference maker in this game, but of course he will come off the bench if he needs to. We've still got Martinez on the bench, Mert, who's been playing well this season, especially during those games where we have been playing that second 11, very, very good player as well. Toma has been getting some more game time. Even Prim, who used to play for Barcelona, has proved to be a really good signing, playing really well in those rotation games. Below has made himself a really key player. You see that most people are high in match sharpness because, of course, we've been rotating so much. It's been a great season, but the cherry on top would be a Champions League final. Let's try and do it right now. Whether it happens or not, we've done an incredible job to get this far, and just hearing that Champions League noise, very loud, I will point out, is a nice sound to hear. Yamal, Fatty, who else do they have that's still a real player or someone that I recognise? Balde, Pedri, not a whole lot else. I'm sure there are other people that are real in there, but no names that I recognise. But it's Barcelona team. I'm sure it's world-class players all over the place. But it's 2 shots to us to start with and none to them from 12 minutes gone. To be fair, it is 68% possession their way. But it just shows, again, we are a good side and we are certainly keeping ourselves in all of these games. And by the way, let's be honest here. There's no way I'm simulating these games that many times to get the results that we want. I understand if I simulated them 10 times, I think I have gotten lucky on almost all of them. But I just don't have the time to do that. I just wouldn't do it. I can't be bothered. It's real. It's real. I feel like the more I talk about how it's real makes it sound less real. But I'm showing you this right now. There's no way I'm recording twice. If we lose, well, hopefully we don't lose, but you'll know what actually has happened. Jamal, gone just wide of the post there. Hagens looking, well, not shaky in between the sticks, but, when a shot goes towards him, you don't always expect them to stop it. But the first half seems to have gone okay for us. With, to be fair, 5 shots, no highlights that we have seen. But we're doing well and we're holding our own at the Camp Nou. That was bad. I apologise. And we haven't seen anything too crazy coming up against us in terms of the stats. And the highlight has been tame. That is not a penalty. Because if we concede this now, then that throws a whole nother spanner in the works. That makes the game completely change, and that absolutely swings the momentum towards them. I didn't think it looked like a penalty. Thank goodness it isn't there. 50 minutes gone, and it's our ball now. Is this going to be the first highlight we see coming our way? It is Ronaldo into Cremar into Ricardo, our star man, going for the shot. He rolls it straight at the goalkeeper. If that is a highlight, that is a pretty poor one, boys and girls. 55 minutes gone, and if we keep the scoreline exactly like this, we're very happy and we're going through to the Champions League final. Is it going to come out so that, yes, it does. Pedri has it on the edge. He's going to go for the shot. Higgins tips it over. And he is fine. He's not. No, he's not. He's pretty bad. He is pretty bad. He can stop the basic shots. But I don't think if Yamal pulls out a decent shot like he does in real life, I don't think Higgins getting a hand on it. So let's just hope. He collects it there, to be fair. Let's just hope our defenders, Petit, Vasquez, Mancini, and Ronaldo do the job that they need to do. But they have done it in the past. Let's hope they do it once more. And their attackers, to be fair, are getting very tired. Rubio, Yamal, and Pedri all getting down to their last bit of heart. Is it time for us to make a substitute? I think Karbonov has kind of done what he needs to do. Now, if we're going to be doing it, I think it will be more of an counter-attacking opportunity. Ricardo not playing well, but he is a star for us. I'm not going to make him come off. Yes, Vasquez is going to come on as well. And I'll get Cremar off in the midfield and bring on Mert to get some fresh legs, someone that can run around a bit more like a headless chicken. Although Cremar is great, I think it's important to have those strong legs in there, especially as we go into a period of the game where I'm sure Barcelona will be coming right at us, trying to score, trying to get the balls into the mixer. We want players that can be fit and go up and down, up and down, up and down, all the way to the final whistle. And it is them on the ball now, and it is Fatty in, and it is a great block by, I believe, Petit doing that there. That was awesome. That has stopped a serious goal-scoring opportunity, and that's the end of the highlight. That's what we like to see. 70 minutes gone, 20 to go. You'd think Barcelona are going to start throwing caution to the wind at some point soon. And with all these tired players, you'd think they'd start making some serious substitutes. I imagine they are at some point, but it just doesn't seem to be coming. As Ricardo now has a corner. We score a lot of corners. Can we get another one here? Vasquez with his big head comes in, but it's Petit this time, puts it in the back of the net. I don't care who it is, to be honest. It is 1-0, and we're currently going to the Champions League final and cruising there as well, boys and girls. I did not think this season would go like this. I told you the thumbnail was going to be a goalkeeper era because of them running up from a corner trying to get a last-minute goal, not Champions League final stuff. But it looks like it might be Champions League final stuff. Yamal into Rubio. Rubio gets it blocked and headed away. Higgins is doing a good job in between the sticks today as well. Keeping a clean sheet right now. I've got no complaints at all. As he is on the ball here. Smashes it long and we might have an opportunity. Doesn't come through to Kuruchet. But it comes to Martinez. Martinez puts it over. Kuruchet does put it in, but I think he's offside. I kind of expected that as soon as he had the ball, because I feel like often when they're offside, they're more likely to score, so that then you have to get the animation and then you feel disappointed. I think it's something that Football Manager genuinely does. Like to mess with you a wee bit. Was never convinced on that one, but I'm convinced on this result so far. 3-1 up on aggregate. A huge rabbit would have to be pulled out of the hat now if we're going to lose this. So I'm going to bring Ramos on for that defensive solidity. Ronaldo's going to come back into that central midfield left back role, and then we're going to get a new central midfielder, Prim, completely changing that central midfield, and he's going to face his former club for the last few minutes and hope that we don't concede 2 goals in 5 minutes, although they are on the ball with, I think, fresh legs. But Ricardo picks it up into Martinez. This is now another chance for us. It is Martinez. Is Martinez going for the shot? It goes way over the bar though. But I think this is enough, boys and girls. 3 minutes to go, 2 minutes to go, 1 minute to go. I mean, I think sometimes you've got to have the lows to really appreciate the highs, and I think that's why I'm not feeling super crazy here. I cannot believe we have managed to do it after last season. The last couple of seasons weren't even lows. We just weren't better than the teams that we were versing in the Champions League, and that's fine. You know, if you look at the stages, we kept getting knocked out in the first knockout phase, you know, against Inter Milan, against Atletico Madrid, against Lazio, against teams that are arguably probably better than us. But we just seem to continue beating teams that are on paper better than us here. Hungarian Cup final coming up, but the Champions League final, certainly more important. Cannot believe we've done it. Cannot believe we're there. I mean, the series could be ending at the end of this. If it does continue, I'm going to continue playing the series off camera and try and build up Hungary, because I don't feel done with this team. I mean, we're still knocking about with 19-year-olds, you know, like Galetli, who's our captain at the moment, behind Below, who is never starting. 21 years of age. Parmisano, an elite player for us, 21 years of age. This is not the full potential of the side, and I'd like to see the full potential. It's Bayern that we're versing. Managed to win 3-1 against Real Madrid. I mean, I don't know. Both of them should really be beating us, so I don't know what's good and what's not. I guess a bit of a battle within the war, with Dominik Szoboszlai versing a Hungarian side as the captain of the Bayern Munich side. Just crazy stuff happening left, right and centre. We're in the Champions League final. I bet you're not clicking away now. Just a quick wee positive break before we go into the Champions League final. Stress and anxiety. Ricardo, most player of the match awards. Second choice in goalkeeper of the year. He conceded 57. He conceded 20. I mean, I guess his average rating is high, but I still think that's stupid. Lots of people in the best 11. Vasquez, Opetit, Rinaldi, Toma in the team of the season. I mean, 9 assists, I guess, is impressive. Okay. Wouldn't go with him personally. I mean, Kramar, I'm pretty sure, has about the same amount of assists. Yeah, 9 and 5. Okay, yep, no, totally makes sense. Ricardo, no surprises there, and Karbonov. And then Ricardo is the player of the season with an average rating of 8.17, 22 goals, 18 assists. Second place is Kramar. Oh yeah, because obviously he doesn't deserve to be anywhere near any of those things. He's also the top goal scorer. Kuruche ended up coming third with 18, and then that dude came second with 19. More Haxi with the... Oh my cat's just knocked over my Fanta. Well, that's going to have to be dealt with, isn't it? Okay, I know this is not what you're here for, but I just have to tell you this. Fanta knocked over, went straight onto the bottom row of a bookshelf that my partner's books are all over. My partner is incredibly, and she never watches these videos, so she's never going to find out about this. My partner is incredibly particular about her books. She doesn't bend the spine, she doesn't crease them. The books are in immaculate condition. As you can imagine, Fanta going on them, not ideal. However, she also never rereads her books. So, now 3 of her books have little orange bases, so where the pages are underneath, you know, on the not the spine of the book, the underneath, just the bottoms of the pages now are orange. And as long as she just never rereads those books, I should be fine. Hopefully this never gets brought up in a conversation, because if she does coincidentally watch this episode, that would be incredible. I'm manager of the year. That's move on from that. The Champions League final coming up. Bayern Munich, do they win the league? They came second. I think I know who the favourites are. Who did they lose to? Who? RB. I mean, we literally did beat RB Leipzig. Who did they lose to? RB Leipzig. We beat RB Leipzig comfortably. Boys and girls, we might be able to win this.